You notice the way your body relaxes when their name appears on your phone. You are not just looking for butterflies. You're trying to understand whether the feeling in front of you is real love. Because attention can feel convincing long before love actually is. And mixed signals can sound a lot like hope when your heart wants certainty. So if you have been reading between the lines, this is for you. What you are feeling is not neediness. It is the very human desire to know whether your heart is safe here. By the end, you'll be able to spot the quiet behaviors that matter more than big words. And you will see why true love usually feels steadier than it looks in movies. Here is the first clue. Love does not only show up when the mood is perfect. When someone truly loves you, they stay emotionally present across ordinary days, not just intense moments. They do not disappear after deep conversations and return only when they want warmth, comfort, or validation. Their care has rhythm. You do not have to keep guessing when they will become kind again. That consistency matters because love is not just emotion. It is emotional reliability repeated often enough that your nervous system begins to trust it. A person can feel passionate and a person can be quiet and still love you deeply. Real love usually becomes visible in patterns, not performances. It looks like the text they send after a long day, the check-in before your stressful meeting, the small return after conflict instead of a dramatic retreat. Here is what that means. You are not only being chosen in exciting moments, you are being remembered in regular ones. And that kind of remembering is one of love's most honest languages. The second sign is that they want to know your inner world, not just enjoy your surface. They ask how something affected you, not only what happened. They notice what lifts your mood and what quietly shuts you down. They remember the story behind your guardedness. They learn the map of you with care. This is deeper than curiosity. It is investment. When someone loves you, they are not collecting facts. They are building understanding so they can meet you more gently. That is why certain questions feel different. Not because they are clever, because they come from genuine presence. They are trying to know what life feels like from inside your skin. And this is the beautiful part. Being understood does not always arrive as fireworks. Sometimes it arrives as someone noticing you went quiet before you had to explain why. Sometimes it is them remembering that family topics tire you out and changing the pace without making it awkward. Love pays attention in places attraction often skips. The third sign is easy to miss because it is not flashy. Someone who truly loves you makes room for your reality. Not just your charm. Not just your best mood. Your schedule matters to them. Your limits matter to them. Your no matters to them. This is where a lot of people get confused. Intensity can feel like devotion. But if their affection only works when life bends around them, that is not love showing maturity. Love can desire closeness and still respect your humanity. It does not punish you for being tired. It does not shame you for needing space. It does not make your boundaries sound like betrayal. Instead, it adjusts. That adjustment is powerful because it shows they are relating to the real you, not a fantasy version. And if that recognition hits home for you, you are not alone. Many people were taught to mistake being wanted for being respected, but the two are not the same thing. And the difference changes everything. If this feels familiar, you can share that quietly in the comments. The fourth sign is that conflict does not instantly become a threat to the bond. Someone who truly loves you may still get frustrated, defensive, or overwhelmed. They are human. But beneath the reaction, there is still a wish to repair. That is the part to watch. Do they try to understand after the heat settles? Do they come back to the conversation? Do they care that something hurt you even if they did not mean it? Love is not the absence of friction. It is the presence of repair. Because closeness always creates moments of misunderstanding. Two histories meet. Two nervous systems meet. Two sets of fears meet. So the question is not whether conflict appears. The question is what the relationship does with it. Healthy love does not treat every disagreement like proof that something is doomed. It treats conflict like information, something to learn from, something to handle together. There is a twist most people miss here. Repair is not only apologizing. It is changing your behavior because the relationship matters more than your ego in that moment. The fifth sign is that they support your growth, even when it does not center them. They cheer for the version of you that becomes more grounded, more honest, more alive. They do not only like you when you are easiest to access. They like you when you become more yourself. This matters because some forms of attachment feel safest when you stay small. True love is different. It wants to be close to your real expansion. It does not secretly compete with your healing, your friendships, your work, or your confidence. It does not pull away when you stop overgiving. It does not become cold when you need less rescuing. Instead, it meets your growth with pride. Maybe not perfectly, but sincerely. Think about the small scene that reveals this. You share an idea you are excited about. Their response is not to make it about themselves. It is to light up with you. That response tells you something important. Love is not just about being emotionally moved by you. It is also about being emotionally generous toward you. The sixth sign is that their affection feels safe, not confusing on purpose. Mystery can be exciting at first, but long-term love usually creates clarity. You are not left decoding every delay, every mood shift, every almost promise. You can feel their interest without chasing it. This does not mean they communicate perfectly. It means the overall message of their behavior is coherent. Their words and actions point in the same direction often enough that your heart can rest. Here is a warm reframe. If you feel constantly activated around someone, that does not automatically mean the connection is deep. Sometimes it means the connection is inconsistent. And inconsistency can create obsession because uncertainty makes the mind keep checking for answers. Love feels different. Not boring. Not flat. Just less chaotic. You can miss them without losing yourself in the missing. You can care deeply without feeling emotionally hunted by the connection. The seventh sign is that they let you be fully human without making you earn tenderness back. You can be awkward. You can be sad. You can misunderstand something. You can have a day where you are not especially charming, and the care does not vanish. This is one of the clearest signs of real love, because conditional affection teaches you to perform. Unconditional respect teaches you to soften. When someone truly loves you, you do not feel perfect around them. You feel permitted. Permitted to exhale. Permitted to tell the truth sooner. Permitted to stop auditioning. And once you stop auditioning, something important happens. You begin to see the relationship more clearly. Because fear is no longer doing all the interpreting. The eighth sign is that they make plans that naturally include you. Not as an afterthought. Not as a convenient option. As someone they are genuinely building around. Love moves toward integration. It starts linking lives in small, respectful ways. They think ahead with you in mind. They mention next month without hesitation. They invite you into parts of life that matter to them. They make practical space, not just emotional claims. This does not mean rushing intensity. It means alignment begins to show up in the future tense. If someone says they care but keeps you sealed off from their real life, pay attention. Secrecy can wear the costume of complexity for a long time. But love usually becomes more visible, not less. The ninth sign is that they protect the bond when you are not in the room. This one says a lot. How someone speaks about you when you cannot hear it reveals the depth of their regard. Do they handle your vulnerabilities carefully? Do they honor your privacy? Do they speak about the relationship with respect instead of using it for ego, attention, or control? Love is protective in a quiet way. Not possessive. Protective. It guards dignity. It does not expose your soft spots for entertainment. It does not make closeness feel unsafe later. And here's a gentle insight. A loving person understands that intimacy is not access to everything. It is responsibility for what you were trusted with. The 10th sign is maybe the simplest. You feel more like yourself around them, not less. Not instantly, not every second. But over time, your truest self has more room to come forward. You laugh more naturally. You explain yourself less defensively. You become less preoccupied with managing their reactions. This is such an important signal because love should deepen your relationship with yourself, not weaken it. The right connection does not require constant self-abandonment to keep peace. It invites honesty. It can hold complexity. It makes authenticity feel safer than performance. So how do you put all of this together? Look less at isolated moments. Look more at patterns over time. One romantic night can be real and still not mean lasting love. One thoughtful message can be sweet and still not mean emotional maturity. Real love becomes visible in repeated behavior. Consistency, respect, repair, curiosity, safety, growth, integration, dignity. These are not glamorous signs. That is exactly why they matter. Anyone can create a moment. Not everyone can create steadiness. And steadiness is often what a heart has been craving all along. So if you have been asking whether someone truly loves you, try this gentle shift. Stop only asking how intensely they feel. Start asking how consistently they care. That question will save you from confusing chemistry with character. It will help you notice whether affection becomes responsibility, presence, and respect. And that is where love becomes something you can actually live inside. If this gave language to something your heart has been trying to name, leave a like and subscribe for more reflections like this. Because the more clearly you understand love, the less likely you are to shrink yourself to keep it. You deserve a connection that does not make you decode your worth every day. You deserve care that is warm, mutual, and emotionally honest. And if you are still learning to recognize that, you are not behind. You are becoming clearer. Sometimes that clarity is the beginning of a completely different kind of love. The kind that feels less like a chase and more like coming home to yourself with someone who knows how to stay.